Some games manage to capture your attention in a way that makes it hard to stop playing. Whether it's the gripping story, addictive gameplay, or the world full of details, they create a constant drive to push forward just a little more. Every challenge overcome, every discovery made, and every new mechanic learned heightens the desire to keep going. Before you know it, hours have passed, and the immersion was complete. This list highlights 20 games that ignite this obsession in unique ways. From the most intense to the most strategic, each one has something special that makes it impossible to put the controller down. I'm Jax, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. If you can subscribe to help me grow, I'd be really happy. From one gamer to another. Kicking off our list, we have a game that turns fear and solitude into something much deeper. Set in an abandoned city, Gylt is a place where silence hides disturbing secrets. Every dark street seems to whisper sad tales, while bizarre creatures lurk in the shadows. The atmosphere is thick, creating tension that doesn't rely solely on jump scares. The journey here isn't just about escaping, but confronting harsh truths that are difficult to face. Gameplay blends stealth, exploration, and smart puzzles, demanding attention with every step. Light and darkness play central roles, with the flashlight serving as both a tool and a shield. Avoiding confrontation is often the best strategy, making every encounter more nerve-wracking. The labyrinthine environments are constantly hiding challenges that test perception and patience. Nothing feels like it's there by chance, heightening the sense that danger can appear from anywhere. The visuals embrace a dark, stylized approach, creating a striking contrast between fear and melancholy. The game manipulates light and shadow to bring the forgotten city to life, making even the quietest moments unsettling. The creatures appear straight out of distant nightmares, distorting reality in a disturbing way. The subtle soundtrack amplifies the tension, maintaining a constant sense that something is watching from the dark. In second place, we have an epic game of exploration and survival. Rise of the Tomb Raider takes you to brutal landscapes, where snow, caves, and ruins hide valuable secrets. Each location is meticulously detailed, giving you the feeling of a living, relentless world. The quest for answers leads you to scale perilous mountains, uncover tombs, and face determined enemies, all while the environment becomes as deadly as any adversary. Gameplay strikes a balance between combat, stealth, and puzzle solving, always encouraging creative approaches. The bow becomes essential for hunting, defending, and acting without drawing attention. The puzzles require quick observation and reasoning, making every discovery rewarding. The progression system allows for skill and equipment upgrades, shaping how challenges are tackled. No area is just a pretty backdrop. Everything invites exploration and mastery of mechanics. The graphics impress with realistic lighting, dynamic weather effects, and richly detailed environments. Snow accumulates on clothes, the wind cuts through mountains, and the cave waters reflect the little light available. Immersion intensifies with a striking soundtrack, switching between subtle and epic moments as the action unfolds. Every new discovery gives the feeling of venturing into a forgotten world, where the next clue could be just beyond the danger. In third place, we have a game that turns mythology and revenge into a brutal epic. God of War takes you to unknown lands, where each location hides ancient dangers and secrets. The story unfolds amidst gods and colossal creatures, making every encounter more intense. The weight of choices and battles shapes the path ahead, delivering moments of pure grandeur. The narrative intertwines with the action, ensuring each step feels meaningful. Combat is intense, demanding strength and precision to defeat relentless foes. Devastating strikes combine with strategic defenses, creating fluid and brutal battles. The fights against mythical beings impress with both scale and complex moves. Exploration and puzzles also play a role in the journey, challenging the mind as much as raw strength. Every new area uncovers unexpected dangers, keeping the tension high. The world comes alive with gigantic settings that blend beauty and grandeur in an impressive way. Dense forests, frozen mountains, and forgotten ruins create a unique atmosphere. Lighting highlights every detail, making even the quieter moments visually striking. The creatures and gods have incredible designs, merging the familiar with the unknown. The soundtrack reinforces the epic tone, making each moment even more unforgettable. In fourth place, we have a game that transforms a lawless world into a true battlefield. Mad Max throws you into an unforgiving desert where every scrap of resource could mean life or death. Madmen rule the roads, making every encounter a real threat. Dust and rust cover everything, giving the impression that civilization has long been lost. The only rule is brutality, and weakness means you won't last long. Vehicle combat is intense, featuring explosive chases and destructive collisions. Customizing and reinforcing your car is crucial, from mounted weapons to makeshift armor. But stepping out of the vehicle doesn't offer much safety, as brutal hand-to-hand combat awaits. Dry hits and improvised weapons make every fight feel dirty and desperate. Each battle is a test of strength, where hesitation can cost you dearly. The desert is vast and filled with details that tell stories of a forgotten world. Time-worn ruins hide secrets, while storms turn everything into hell. Enemies carry grotesque appearances, reflecting the madness of this ruleless universe. Dust covers the horizon, making every journey a gamble against the unknown. The oppressive silence is only broken by the roar of engines and the thunder of explosions. In fifth place, we have a game that redefines psychological horror with a chilling return. Silent Hill 2 Remake takes place in a fog-covered town where nothing is as it seems. The suffocating atmosphere makes every street feel like it's hiding something lurking. Distant sounds and distorted shadows increase the sense of paranoia with every step. The fear here doesn't come just from what's visible, but from what's imagined. Gameplay balances exploration, tense combat, and mind-bending puzzles. Ammo and resources are scarce, making each fight a risky decision. Running away is often the better choice, as confronting the unknown horrors never guarantees victory. The movement and combat have been modernized while still maintaining the oppressive essence of the original. Every new area brings unpredictable challenges, heightening the constant tension. The environments are a spectacle of decay, with cracked streets and dusty, abandoned interiors. Lighting and mist effects create a unique mood, where darkness hides unspeakable dangers. The creatures have grotesque designs, amplifying the feeling that something is terribly wrong. The soundtrack and ambient sounds work in harmony to create a constant discomfort. With every step, the town seems to close in even more around you. In sixth place, we have a game that turns a space mission into a desperate struggle for survival. Dead Space Remake throws you into an abandoned ship where something terrible has happened. Narrow corridors and flickering lights create a claustrophobic atmosphere where danger is never far away. Grotesque creatures move between the wreckage, turning every corner into a potential trap. The silence is broken only by strange sounds, heightening the sense of isolation. The gameplay mixes strategic combat and exploration in a hostile, unpredictable environment. Makeshift weapons demand precision, as defeating enemies isn't just about shooting, but about dismemberment. Limited resources make every bullet count, forcing quick decisions amidst panic. Solving the ship's problems while monsters lurk creates constant tension. Each new section brings unexpected dangers, keeping the adrenaline high. The graphics have been recreated with impressive detail, intensifying the terrifying atmosphere. Dynamic lighting makes shadows move in unsettling ways, while blood stains walls and floors. The design of the creatures is grotesque, making every encounter disturbing. Ambient sound contributes to the fear, with distant echoes and whispers in the dark. The feeling of always being watched never fades. In seventh place, we have a game that turns Nordic history into a battlefield of war and intrigue. Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes you to frozen lands and warring realms, where every decision shapes destiny. Villages, fortresses, and battlefields make up a vast and lively world. The sense of being in a brutal era is reinforced by historical details. Amid alliances and combat, the path is marked by blood and conquest. Gameplay mixes exploration, intense battles, and missions that offer meaningful choices. Combat is brutal, with heavy weapons and strikes that make each fight impactful. Attacks on villages require strategy, combining strength and tactics to overcome enemy defenses. Exploring ruins and solving challenges scattered across the map brings valuable rewards. Between duels and achievements, there's always something waiting to be discovered. The world is breathtaking, with snowy forests, rivers cutting through valleys, and bustling cities. Realistic lighting transforms every sunrise and sunset into a visual spectacle. The level of detail in the environments and architecture enhances immersion in the depicted era. Dynamic weather effects make each region feel alive and unpredictable. The game masterfully recreates the feeling of being a Viking. In 8th place, we have a game that transforms fantasy and challenge into a world full of mysteries. Elden Ring throws you into vast lands, where ruins, forests, and castles hide dark secrets. The map doesn't give answers easily, encouraging discovery through curiosity and risk. Colossal creatures and relentless enemies make each encounter a true test of skill. Nothing is predictable, and danger can come from any direction. Combat requires precision and patience, punishing any mistake with severe consequences. Weapons, magic, and various styles allow each fight to be approached differently. Giant bosses have complex patterns, demanding attention and adaptation to be defeated. Exploration and progression go hand in hand, making each new power a well-deserved achievement. Every battle won brings a real sense of overcoming, driving the journey forward. The environments are monumental, alternating between melancholic landscapes and imposing structures. The design of creatures and attire reinforces the feeling of being in an ancient, forgotten universe. The game plays with light and shadow to create moments of pure immersion and mystery. The soundtrack stands out at the right moments, making confrontations even more epic. The feeling of solitude and constant danger makes each discovery memorable. In 9th place, we have a game that turns moral dilemmas into a dark, personal conflict. Vampyr puts you in the shoes of a doctor who awakens as a bloodthirsty creature. While London suffers from a deadly plague, the battle between saving lives and satisfying your thirst becomes inevitable. Every decision affects the balance of the city, leading to irreversible consequences. The weight of choice is ever present, making it impossible to proceed without leaving scars behind. Gameplay mixes combat, investigation, and interactions that shape the course of the story. The abilities offer brutal advantages, but they come with a cost that must be carefully considered. Every character you meet has their own story and role in the city's balance. Feeding can bring power, but it can also destroy relationships and alter events. The duality between strength and humanity makes every moment unpredictable. The environments perfectly capture the atmosphere of a place decayed and overtaken by despair. Dark streets, overcrowded hospitals, and abandoned houses create an environment filled with tension. Lighting and mist enhance the feeling that something lurks around every corner. The character designs convey exhaustion and suffering, making each encounter impactful. The true threat may not be in the shadows, but in the choices made along the way. In 10th place, we have a game that turns exploration and adventure into a cinematic journey. Uncharted 4 places you in stunning settings, where mysteries and dangers walk hand in hand. Ruins hide valuable secrets, while intense chases keep the pace fast. The narrative mixes action and emotion, creating moments that feel like they're straight out of a great film. Each new location brings challenges that test both skill and intelligence. Gameplay combines climbing, gunfights, and puzzles that encourage observing the environment. The combat mechanics allow for either direct or stealthy approaches, depending on the situation. The interactive environments make each confrontation dynamic, with cover that can be destroyed. The chase sequences are electrifying, blending precise control with unpredictable moments. Everything comes together to create an adventure that never loses momentum. The graphics impress with lush landscapes, from tropical islands to intricately built cities. The realism in lighting effects and textures makes every setting immersive. Small details, like facial expressions and environmental reactions, enhance the feeling of being part of the story. The world around you reacts to the events, making each moment even more impactful. The feeling of having lived a grand adventure is inevitable. In 11th place, we have a game that turns the terror of war into an unrelenting nightmare. Conscript places you in the trenches of World War I, where fear is constant. The darkness and silence are as threatening as the horrors lurking within. Every narrow corridor and destroyed ruin hides unpredictable dangers. The sense of being trapped in a hostile environment never fades. The gameplay mixes exploration, combat, and resource management in an oppressive setting. Ammo and supplies are limited, forcing tough decisions at every moment. Solving puzzles and finding safe routes is just as important as facing enemies. Combat is tense and brutal, with heavy weapons that demand precision and caution. Every advance feels like a victory against an environment that always works against you. The visuals evoke a retro style, but with details that increase immersion and discomfort. The game uses shadows and lighting effects to create a constant sense of suspense. The grim, claustrophobic atmosphere reinforces feelings of isolation and vulnerability. The sounds of distant gunfire and the echo of your own steps make it feel like nothing is safe. The horror doesn't just come from enemies, but from the war itself and what it does to those who face it. In 12th place, we have a game that turns chaos into a desperate fight for survival. Dead Rising Remaster places you in an infested mall, where every corner hides threats. The sense of urgency is constant, with hordes of zombies multiplying quickly. Time is a valuable resource, demanding quick decisions on where to go and what to do. Between frantic combat and planning moments, tension never fades. The gameplay offers the freedom to face enemies with creativity and improvisation. Makeshift weapons are scattered everywhere, allowing for everything from brutal attacks to humorous situations. Survivors can be rescued, but protecting them all requires strategy and attention. The clock ticks mercilessly, making every choice more impactful. Exploring, fighting, and deciding who to save leave no room for hesitation. The environments capture the chaotic atmosphere of a place taken over by disaster. Destroyed stores, blocked hallways, and unstable lighting create an unpredictable environment. The contrast between bright colors and growing horror amplifies the strangeness of the situation. The movement of enemies makes every space dangerous, with few places truly safe. No matter how well armed you are, the feeling of being surrounded never disappears. In 13th place, we have a game that brings an alien invasion full of destruction and humor. Destroy All Humans lets you control an extraterrestrial being determined to conquer the planet. Chaos spreads across the cities as civilians panic and military forces try to resist. Futuristic weapons and special powers allow for experimenting with different ways to cause havoc. The result is an absurd and unpredictable journey where nothing is safe. The gameplay mixes combat, exploration, and abilities that challenge human logic. Disintegration rays, mind control, and flying saucers provide a devastating advantage. The environments react to the impact of destruction, with buildings collapsing and vehicles being thrown. Enemies range from frightened scientists to soldiers willing to do anything to stop the threat. Each mission encourages chaotic approaches with no limits to creativity. The visuals embrace a cartoonish style that highlights the irreverent tone of the invasion. Exaggerated explosions, colorful rays, and caricatured animations are part of the experience. Over-the-top expressions and dialogue full of irony emphasize the satire of classic science fiction. The world dynamically responds to actions, making each moment unique. Conquering Earth has never been so fun. In 14th place, we have a game that takes mystery to the high seas with an unsettling atmosphere. Dredge places you in command of a small boat, exploring waters full of secrets. During the day, fishing and navigating seems safe, but the night hides unknown dangers. Distant islands and turbulent seas guard discoveries that may not have been meant to be found. The feeling that something lurks in the depths never fully fades. The gameplay combines exploration, resource management, and subtle horror elements. Upgrading the boat is essential to reach more distant locations and withstand adverse conditions. Time must be carefully managed, as navigating after sunset can be risky. Strange creatures and inexplicable phenomena make each journey unpredictable. The further you go, the harder it becomes to distinguish reality from illusion. The environments blend beauty and desolation, with isolated islands and dark seas hiding horrors. The art direction creates a contrast between serene landscapes and the invisible threat growing on the horizon. Small details in the animations and weather effects enhance immersion. The darkness swallows everything around, leaving only the faint light of the boat as a reference. In such an unstable environment, the real question is how far it's worth going. Next, we have a game that turns mythology and combat into an intense journey. Hades places you before brutal challenges, where every attempt brings something new. The underworld is a labyrinth filled with relentless enemies and choices that change the path. The battles are fast and require sharp reflexes, with abilities that can be combined in many ways. Every defeat doesn't mean the end, but a chance to return stronger. The gameplay is frantic, mixing action and strategy in combat that never repeats. A variety of weapons allows for completely different fighting styles, from fast attacks to devastating strikes. Special powers change the way you face challenges, encouraging constant experimentation. Enemies grow more challenging as you progress, requiring adaptation with every new attempt. The desire to try again is inevitable, making the fight cycle addictive. The visuals feature a vibrant artistic style, with bold colors and fluid animations. Each environment presents unique details, reinforcing the sense of progress through the underworld. The visual effects of attacks make battles even more impactful and dynamic. The soundtrack matches the fast pace of the action, elevating the adrenaline at the right moments. The world reacts to progress, making each new attempt different from the last. In 16th place, we have a game that turns climbing and exploration into an engaging challenge. Jusant places you before an immense vertical structure, where every advance depends on your skill. The path is not linear, requiring planning and precision to overcome natural obstacles. The silence and vastness around create a contemplative and solitary atmosphere. Every new height reached reveals impressive landscapes and hidden secrets. The gameplay focuses on mastering climbing, using realistic mechanics and detailed physics. Ropes, holds, and specific techniques need to be carefully managed to avoid fatal falls. Stamina limits your movements, forcing strategic pauses to catch your breath. The path is filled with alternative routes, encouraging observation of the environment. Overcoming each section provides a true sense of progress and achievement. The environments blend minimalism and beauty, with landscapes evolving as you climb higher. Lighting and shadows change along the journey, creating moments of pure immersion. Small details, like the wind blowing or rocks falling, reinforce the natural feel of the world. The absence of a constant soundtrack intensifies the connection with the environment. At the top, the view rewards every effort made to get there. In 17th place, we have a game that brings martial arts and action in challenging fights. Sifu puts you on a revenge journey, where each fight requires skill and precision. The combat system is technical, focusing on dodges, blocks, and counterattacks at the right moment. Every well-executed blow carries weight, making the confrontations intense and strategic. Mastering the mechanics is crucial to overcoming increasingly dangerous opponents. The gameplay stands out for its aging system, which turns each defeat into a new challenge. Every time you're defeated, the character ages, gaining more strength but losing stamina. The pace of the fights requires adaptation, as enemies don't follow predictable patterns. The environment also plays a part in the strategy, allowing for interactions and environmental moves. The feeling of evolution comes both from the experience gained and the improvement in technique. The environments are dynamic, with locations inspired by classic martial arts films. Small details, like cinematic lighting and fluid animations, make the fights even more impactful. Each environment has its own identity, influencing the pace and approach of the battles. The visual style combines realism and stylized features, creating a striking aesthetic. Every confrontation carries narrative weight, making the journey's intensity never fade. Next, we have a game that blends heavy metal and frantic action at a dizzying pace. Metal Hellsinger places you in battles where each attack must follow the beat of the music. Combat turns into a chaotic symphony, with shots and strikes synchronized to the rhythm of the beats. The more precise your timing, the greater the damage and the intensity of the soundtrack. The fusion of music and combat makes every confrontation an electrifying spectacle. The gameplay demands full concentration, rewarding those who maintain the perfect rhythm. Weapons vary from heavy shotguns to sharp blades and explosive projectiles, each with its own pace. Enemies attack in sync with the music, making the battles dynamic and unpredictable. The scoring system encourages aggression, making it impossible to play passively. As your performance improves, the vocals of the music come in, raising the adrenaline. The environments represent different layers of a stylized hell, full of fire and demonic structures. The visual design is packed with vibrant colors and impactful effects that reinforce the game's intensity. Grotesque creatures and desolate environments are part of the chaos that accompanies each battle. Pulsating lighting and macabre details create a unique, striking aesthetic. The result is an immersive experience where music and destruction go hand in hand. In 19th place, we have a game that turns anarchy and action into a true chaotic spectacle. Saints Row III puts you in control of a rising gang, dominating a city full of opportunities for chaos. Absurd missions and insane challenges ensure that every moment is unpredictable. Over-the-top humor and the freedom to cause destruction make everything even more fun. Every street, corner, and skyscraper serves as a stage for explosive moments. The gameplay combines frantic combat, crazy chases, and activities that defy any pattern. The arsenal includes everything from conventional weapons to completely absurd options, ensuring unexpected approaches. Varied vehicles allow for both strategic escapes and rampant destruction across the map. Rival gangs and authorities react to the level of chaos, raising the intensity of the conflicts. No mission follows a traditional pattern, always surprising with absurd situations. The environments are vibrant, mixing illuminated skyscrapers, decaying neighborhoods, and chaotic industrial zones. The city reacts to the actions, changing as the gang's influence grows. The stylized visual design reinforces the irreverent tone, creating a contrast between bright colors and mass destruction. Exaggerated characters and outfits give even more personality to the world around. The result is an experience where the limit is set by your own desire to cause maximum chaos. Next, we have a game that turns strategy and stealth into complex challenges. Shadow Tactics places you in feudal Japan, where every movement could be the difference between success and failure. Enemies patrol constantly, requiring careful planning to advance undetected. The level design encourages multiple approaches, allowing each mission to be solved in different ways. Patience and observation are just as important as the ability to act at the right moment. The gameplay is based on controlling a specialized team, with each member having unique skills. Coordinating actions together is crucial to eliminating threats without alerting other enemies. Using the environment to your advantage, like shadows and obstacles, helps avoid direct confrontations. The challenges increase as enemies become more vigilant and better positioned. Each stage brings new obstacles that test creativity and precision. The environments recreate cities, castles, and villages with meticulous details, bringing feudal Japan to life. The fluid animations and weather effects add depth to the world and missions. Lighting works in favor of stealth, creating strategic areas of shadow and visibility. Small details, like guards' routines and environmental reactions, enhance immersion. The feeling of overcoming challenges with intelligence makes each mission rewarding. And tell me which of these games you've had the chance to play. Did any spark your curiosity and make it onto your list of next games? I'd also love to know which games have most obsessed you. Leave a comment. If you can, please subscribe to the channel to help me grow and never again wonder what to play. I'm leaving 2 videos on the card, one I selected for you and another one the YouTube algorithm picked. Just click on either one to watch. A big hug, enjoy the game, and see you tomorrow.